You're 9 years old, sitting at the dinner table, and your parents are talking around you, not to you. They're discussing bills, schedules, whose turn it is to pick up groceries. You're right there, chewing quietly, and it's like you're invisible. Not because they're angry, not because you did something wrong, just invisible. There was no screaming, no violence, just nothing where something should have been. No one asked about your day. No one noticed the drawing you made. No one saw that you'd been sitting alone at recess again, trying to figure out why friendships felt like a language everyone else was born speaking. And in that silence, you learned the most dangerous lesson a child can learn, that you don't matter enough to be curious about. People think childhood trauma has to be loud, but sometimes the deepest wounds come from what didn't happen, from questions never asked, emotions never mirrored, the child never truly seen. You learned to be invisible, to take up less space, to need nothing. You became the easiest child, the one who never complained, the one they could forget about because you'd be fine. And you were fine, weren't you? You did your homework without reminders, put yourself to bed, figured out your own problems. You were so good at being easy that they never had to think about you, and that became your identity. You don't call when you're struggling. You don't share good news because it feels like bragging. You minimize your pain because compared to real problems, yours don't count. When someone asks how you are, you say fine, so automatically you don't even register the lie anymore. You apologize for asking questions, for taking up time, for having preferences about where to eat. You've perfected the art of existing without being a burden. But no one ever stopped to ask, what does it do to a child to learn their feelings are irrelevant, their thoughts uninteresting, their presence optional? This is what happens when a child is raised in emotional silence. You don't become difficult, you become erased. Psychologists call this childhood emotional neglect, saying, it's not what happened to you, it's what didn't happen. Your parents may have fed you, clothed you, sent you to school. On paper, you were cared for, but they didn't attune to your emotional world. They didn't ask what you were feeling. They didn't help you name your emotions or validate your experiences. And here's what makes this so damaging. Children need emotional mirroring to develop a sense of self. When a parent reflects your joy, your sadness, your fear, you learn something fundamental. You learn, my feelings are real. I am real. I matter. But when there's no mirror, when your emotions disappear into a void, your brain makes the only logical conclusion available to a child. My feelings don't matter because I don't matter. This isn't abstract psychology. This is neuroscience. Your developing brain was wiring itself to understand the world, and the message it received was clear. Your inner life is irrelevant. So you stopped having one. Or at least, you stopped showing it. You learned that feelings were something to manage alone, in the dark, when no one had to deal with them, including you. And this belief, this core wound of irrelevance, doesn't stay contained in childhood. This shows up as chronic under-earning because you can't advocate for yourself. You watch colleagues negotiate salaries, ask for raises, promote their accomplishments, and something inside you recoils. It feels arrogant, demanding, like you're asking for something you haven't earned, even though you've earned it twice over. It shows up in relationships where you're always the listener, never the one being asked, how are you really? You become so good at holding space for others that no one thinks to hold space for you. And you've convinced yourself you prefer it that way. You might notice you're only comfortable being needed, never needing. Useful, never vulnerable. You're the friend people call in crisis, but you'd never dream of calling them with yours. You choose partners who are distracted, emotionally distant, hard to reach. Not because you don't want connection, but because unavailability feels like home. You know how to love someone from a distance. Intimacy, the kind where someone actually sees you. That's terrifying. You downplay your accomplishments. You ghost people before they can lose interest. You perform happiness so well that no one knows you're dying inside. The hidden cost, you've become so good at disappearing that even you don't know who you are anymore. This wasn't weakness. This was brutal intelligence. Your child brain understood something crucial. If I need less, I'll be hurt less. If I disappear, I won't be rejected. You couldn't make your parents see you, but you could make yourself small enough that their blindness wouldn't hurt as much. You developed what psychologists call avoidant attachment. The belief that you must be entirely self-sufficient to be safe. That depending on anyone is dangerous. That your needs are fundamentally too much. And your nervous system. It learned that expressing needs triggers danger. So it shut down your access to your own feelings. Not consciously. Not as a choice. as a survival mechanism. When you cried and no one came, your brain didn't think my parents are emotionally limited. It thought crying doesn't work. Feelings don't work. I need to handle this alone. So you did. You weren't broken. You were adapting to an environment where your emotional survival depended on your erasure. You became a ghost because ghosts don't get hurt when they're ignored. They're already invisible. This was the smartest thing you could have done with the resources you had. But here's what they don't understand about people like you. Your ability to be alone isn't strength. It's a survival skill you never should have needed. There's a difference between choosing solitude and being conditioned to expect nothing from others. You didn't develop independence. You developed self-abandonment. Being easy and low maintenance isn't a personality. It's a plea. Please don't leave me like everyone else did. It's a preemptive disappearing act. If you need nothing, ask for nothing, expect nothing, then maybe you'll be worth keeping around. But your empathy, your ability to see people deeply, that's real. That's yours. You learned to read rooms, to sense what people need, to notice the micro-expressions that reveal what's unsaid. You had to your survival depended on monitoring the emotional weather of everyone around you. And that gift doesn't disappear when you start taking up space. The truth is, you were never too much or not enough. You were a child who needed to be seen. And when no one looked, you assumed the problem was you. It wasn't. You get to learn that your feelings matter, even if no one taught you that. You get to practice being seen, being asked about, being cared for. It will feel wrong at first. Your nervous system will scream danger. Every instinct will tell you to minimize, deflect, disappear. That's normal. You're rewiring decades of conditioning. It's not too late to meet the child inside who has been waiting for someone to notice they exist. Healing looks like asking for help once, sharing one real feeling, letting someone care without performing gratitude, or immediately reciprocating to balance the scales. It looked like slowly, terrifyingly, taking up space. This isn't quick. There's no hack for reparenting yourself. But you can start small. You can notice when you're about to say, "I'm fine," and pause. You can let someone see you struggle. You can practice wanting something out loud. You can stop earning your right to exist. You're not broken. You're not too much. You're not a burden. You're someone who survived invisibility by becoming a ghost. And now you get to haunt your own life until you're solid again. Picture that 9-year-old at the dinner table. The one no one was talking to. The one who learned to chew quietly and disappear. Now picture yourself pulling up a chair, sitting across from them, and asking, "What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Tell me everything." The ignored child is still inside you. And for the first time, someone's paying attention.